Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here at Blue Ridge Silverhound. We got the Monday market report for the week ending November 16, 2025. Again, I stress the date that you see there is the ending date for the final auctions for the week on greatcollections.com. So that's every revolving Sunday. This past Sunday on the 16th was the final day of that previous week's auctions. So everything had all concluded and hammered out at that particular time. So we're going to be looking at some of the activity from last week. Definitely seeing some movement across the board. Most specifically, and no big surprise, Lincoln Cents really gaining a lot more ground here as we're seeing some pretty healthy prices. Overall, we're seeing about a 5% increase across the board for a lot of the, I would say, more meaningful graded coins in the Lincoln Cent arena. And we would expect just nice, strong activity. The sales will be just really robust and very healthy from this point forward as Lincoln Cents have finally kind of come to a conclusion for any new circulation strikes. So that's having a tidal wave effect of sorts, not only on the entire market, but also certain specific coins are really enjoying a nice little bump up because of that. So we're going to be taking a look at these pieces here momentarily. Nice, great show, by the way. Just overall diversity from head to toe. And can't wait to talk about these coins here with you today. Quick little shout out, channel sponsor, whatnot. We are doing our final show for the month of November, tentatively, because we're going to be out of town after tomorrow. It's going to be tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. And it should be a nice casual show. We're going to have some really great giveaways. We actually have some really nice Christmas ornaments along with some gold backs that we are going to be giving away to the people here tonight for the last Blue Ridge Silverhound show for the month of November. And then we will be back December 1st with our next show. So almost a 2-week layover there, but it'll be your chance to, come pop in, say hello, maybe participate in some auctions. Whatever your flavor is, we have developed a pretty nice, tight-knit community to help everyone out in the hobby. So we'll be on again this evening. You can either use the QR code to join up today, if you haven't done so already, but we'll also have the clickable links down below in the description box and pinned to the comment section of this video if that's more suitable for you. But if you sign up today, guess what? You get $15 $15 off your very first item, and that comes off automatically. So if you're new to the platform, you've never signed up before, that's how you obtain that $15. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. One of the first standouts, of course, 2022 Philly struck Lincoln Shield Cents. I would say by and large have experienced just the biggest boom, bar none, as a result of the finalized production of Lincoln Cents. November 12th of this year became the final day, the final struck pieces, and those particular Omega preview mark pieces will be sold on Stack's Bowers at some point in December. But this one right here is kind of like a testament to what collectors are doing. They are beginning, while they can, and while there's still plenty of supply out there, they're beginning to kind of take a chance here. And they're actually grading out a lot of the more modern dates. 2022 is a few years removed. I mean, it is basically a new coin. But to help fulfill the registry set system of Lincoln Cent, which, by the way, I have a firm belief that from this point forward, Lincoln Cent registries are gonna explode. Not only the prices of the coins, but we're gonna see more people coming in to collect into the registry. And there's a lot of deep pockets people out there that's willing to kind of have fun and take a chance at doing this. So these Shield Cent dates are going to be some of the I guess easier coins that people are going to gravitate towards, and it's really going to put a boom on the market. So this one right here, Mint State 68 Red, is kind of that grade you need on a lot of these Shield scent dates. There's really no compromise here. Anything less than this will not fulfill the overall valuation of what makes it a big coin. This one right here, $2,328.75 was the final sale. Again, we're all kind of shaking our head at this particular moment of what is happening. And we're beginning to see it all across the board, from sealed scent boxes to rolls to, believe it or not, 2025 proof sets are off the hook right now. And now we're seeing things like this, single graded top pop Shield scents, really pushing the market in that direction. Next one that we have here, we have a 1983, the first year, I would say, first full year of the copper-plated zinc composition. Now we have another one here that's intended for a registry set. Such a high grade in the Mint State 68 Plus Red by PCGS. This one ended up selling for $2,556. Again, the market really pushing for a lot of the highest grade examples here. And, we're kind of right now seeing growth. We're seeing more people enter in the registry set scene at some capacity, whether they're doing the top pops or maybe they're kind of focusing in on one specific grade that's more attainable, like maybe Mint State 66. We're kind of seeing this enjoyment of a various wide swath of folks coming into the market at this point. We also have a 1982D. This is the large date zinc version. Okay, this one also coming in at a Mint State 68 Plus Red. And, the 1982 dates, of course, there's 7 different variants of small date, large date, Philly, Denver, copper, zinc. There's a bunch of different variables here with these. And these are enjoying the same amount of success as any other Lincoln scent right now. $3,487.50, another headbanging kind of sale here. Again, a lot of us don't quite understand the association of these big sold price numbers to rather common pedestrian date of coins. It just doesn't seem like it fits the mold, but when you begin to understand more about registry sets, then you'll see where the allure is here. And then we also have a 1982 small date version, Zinkin. This one also right here, again, we have the brother, sister, and cousin all in Mint State 68 Plus Red. And, another fine, acceptable piece for the registry set, more of a necessity than anything else. And this one ended up enjoying a nice, healthy price of $3,600 here on Great Collections. And here again, we're beginning to see a little bit of a theme, okay? Nice, toned, not particularly the highest grade Lincoln scents of proof and business strikes, really coming into its own right here. 1969S, all right? It's just a marquee date, right? Because, the big double to die for the date. Of course, this is the proof version. Proof 69 brown, a very nice, very colorful coin. You ought to see the true views on greatcollections.com. They did a fantastic job. Actually, they call them great photos. True views is PCGS's kind of terminology for what they do there. But in any event, a very attractive coin nonetheless, and $1,293.75 was the sale. Keeping in mind, without the toning, this is probably more maybe of like $150 to $200 coin. So toning playing a huge role in adapting premiums to a lot of these coins, regardless of what the date is. So as long as they're naturally toned, coming out of like maybe an old mint set or things like that, and they look very clean, they might be worth grading. All right, we have a few more registry coins here. 57D Lincoln Wheat Cent is one of them, coming in at a Mint State 67 Plus Red through PCGS. Another fine and very acceptable coin here. Now we're getting into much more pricier models of coins. This one, by the way, is selling for $5,456.25. And we have a 1956 Philly. The Philadelphia coins of the 50s, of course, notorious for their less than desirable strikes, bad planchet quality, things of that nature. This one right here managed to escape a lot of that seeing as how it graded out 67 plus red. And because of that, the price tag was going to be massive. This one achieving a sale of $8,443.12. And we also have this 1946, not the last coin of the week for Lincoln Cents. We actually have one extraordinary piece coming up. But a ho-hum 1946, the 1940s coins all pretty much had really nice strikes, above average luster. It all came down to finding one that had the least amount of planchet nicks or just overall contact marks in general. This one right here, an extraordinary clean example, probably came out of a BU roll or some modicum of that way in order to source these much nicer pieces. 67 plus red, but also benefiting from CAC certification as well. You can see a little green sticker on the holder there. This one sold for $9,393.75, another beast mode kind of coin. And the final Lincoln Cent of the week, how about this 37D? Just a really nice example. This one coming in at a much higher grade level than what we've talked about in a 68 red on a coin that is nearly 88 years old. Did I get that right? I think I did. Yeah. My math is kind of like, it's slow mathing, but it's mathing. So this one right here, another big registry coin, selling for $11,812.50. Now we're on to nickels, and we got to throw things out here. A very, very tough coin to locate if you are actually in this pursuit. Now, when we normally associate Proof sets of the 50s and 60s, we tend to think, quality wasn't all that great. But people loved buying these. They loved collecting them. So they were a little bit tough of a challenge to look for, like, these extraordinarily nice looking pieces with frosty devices, as they were intended to be originally when they were first produced. Now, this is a 1958. If we were going to go back and look at Proof sets, 1958 is still rather affordable. It'll set you back about $45 a set these days. Not particularly cheap as they once were, but we're still living in a time where the silver market and the gold market and all that stuff is really playing heavily on the valuations of some of these older sets. But we might as well maximize what we can out of them and try and find coins that look like this. Just the sharp contrast between the frost and the dark mirrored fields of the coin is what collectors really want. And grading companies will put Deep Cameo or DCAM or Ultra Cameo, if it's NGC, on these coins to help designate that look and appearance. This one, a Proof 67 DCAM on there. $2,430, for a coin that outside of that has a value of about $5. If you did see it at a coin shop and it's just carded in a 2x2, they're not particularly expensive, but finding one that looks like this, it might be your key to, to really driving a big payday for yourself if you're so inclined. Really pretty one here. My goodness. 45S. You gotta hand it to this composition. The 35% silver manganese composition that was used during the war. It ended up being kind of a big deal. Not only then, but today. Collectors are really enjoying this particular series. And they toned quite magically. My goodness, this one right here is a beauty. Talk about the thickest toning that you'll ever see, all the while avoiding kind of like that terminal dark blackish toning color, which you normally see on things like this. PCGS Mid-State 68, and it's also part of the Comprador collection. Not too familiar with it, but if this piece is any indication, I'm willing to bet a lot of the other Comprador pieces from that collection are probably banging like this one. So this one right here, keeping in mind no full steps, but the toning really paved the way for the value. $2,424.38. Pretty nice one. One of my favorites of the week. Couple Buffalo dates, some nice ones, might I add. Okay, this is one particular variety that's very cherry pickable. If you're out there at coin shops or shows, this is one you can look out for because there are a lot of folks that really don't pay too much attention to this one. 1938 D over S. It's one of the great Buffalo nickel varieties, albeit it's more readily available, and as a result, they're not tens of thousands of dollars unless they're like a top pop grade. But how about this one graded by CAC G in a mid-state 67 plus? A great looking example, really nice one here. And this one ended up popping off at $1,743.75. 37D, well, not the most perfect looking example. How about a nice mid-state 62? Just a really nice market acceptable piece. It does have a couple carbon spots, which probably suppress the overall grade value on this one. Probably a point or two. That's how big of a deal carbon spotting could be. Three-legged buffalo is, of course, one of the big varieties of the 20th century. Everybody who's anybody knows about this one, even if you don't collect coins. So this one, selling for $3,227.62. You know, great coin. Lots to love here. 17S, nice early type key date, you know, with some die clashing right under the Indian's chin right there. It's really sharp and very bold on this one. Nice coloration. If you're into tone nickels, this is actually a very nice one with the golds and yellows and greens really intertwining here, making this one a very, very magical looking piece. This one's selling for $5,906.25. A big sale, as expected, in a mid-state 66. A few dimes. Roosevelt's, again, a little bit of omission this week, and it's quite shocking considering its popularity right now has been growing day after day with the impending redesign for 2026. A lot more people are definitely hyped for the small little dime piece. So this one right here, Mercury Dime 42S in a mid-state 68 full bands. Great looking coin here. S-mints of the 40s, notorious for not the greatest of strikes. So the full bands certainly one to be on the lookout for, and quite tough to look for, and also achieved a high grade because they weren't the best quality struck coins, you know. So this one right here, $1,811.25 was the final sale. 25D, just an overall really, really difficult date as such. A lot of the branch mint 1920s coins are quite stingy and difficult to find, especially if you're looking for them raw, which can be probably the most impossible task ever. This one, NGC graded mid-state 64 with full bands, which is a huge bonus on this one. $2,700 was your sale on that one. Of course, 16D, we always got to measure up that, you know, that kind of like defining line of what makes this coin tick. It's the key date of key dates. Top 10 key date of the 20th century in U.S. type. And it really doesn't matter. It's very immaterial as far as what grade these things are. If they're straight graded and they're as low as like poor 1, and you can still read the date and the mint mark, even those are very expensive. But how about good 4? All right, nice acceptable coin with a full healthy mint mark on there, not even attached to anything. You know, the rim usually comes in with prolonged use and really wipe away some of that mint mark. This one right here, very strong representative of what we love to see. CAC certified as well. And this one's selling for $1,536.75. It always seems to me that these coins continue to tick upward a little bit of the same grade. I feel like that this coin was just like $1,400 a few months ago, and then now we're talking about a new breakthrough kind of price on these. So something to be on the lookout for. The big key dates, you know, there's limited supply. There's limited supply of just proper graded, non-details coins out there. And, you know, they're all going to be expensive to own if you're looking for it. All right, now we're on to quarters. Okay, we're coming into the home stretch here, 61D, with, you know, it's toning that you either love or hate. This is kind of like, you know, we're crossing into that barrier of like, nah, I could really do without the toning. But when it comes to originality and really sealing in the coin's kind of like true beauty, the toning, and as thick as it is really protecting this one a great deal. And collectors love it. PCGS gave a 67 grade on this, and a sale of $1,407.38 was your finality here. 48 Philly. Again, another plain Jane date, but the toning here, really giving this one more originality and better, better of what the market commands. PCGS assigned a grade of 68 on this one, okay, which is good. I'm pretty sure half a point or a full point was attributed to the visual appeal of the coin. $4,050 was the final sale on that one, so a pretty hefty price tag, but probably one that's going to go straight into a registry, set it, and forget it. Couple standing liberties, probably bar none, one of my favorite overall U.S. coin series. This is a 1930 that we have here in a Mid-State 67 full head. The toning, again, love it or hate it, really brings in some of the originality to the coin. NGC assigning a grade of 67 full head, so it's got all the detail, the little ear hole, and all that great stuff to give it that grade. CAC certified as well, so even they agreed with it. And we have a sale of $4,451.62. A really, really pretty one on a rather kind of common date for the series. And of course, on the other side of the spectrum, we have one of the lower minted dates of the series, the 27S. I've had the pleasure of owning a few really nice 27S's over the years, but not quite in a 64. I had one in a 61 that was quite nice and very, very pricey, even in a 61 grade. But this one, it's a date that is just about next to impossible to find with full head. And if you were to find one with full head, it's going to be a major milestone of a coin. It's 27S, Mid-State 64, and a sale price of $14,064.75 was the final end of that guy there. Boy, I really love that one. And the final coin of the week, a kind of a far departure of everything else we've talked about today. 1972 Philly Candy half dollar. This one, in all honesty, looks like it came from a mint set. I'll just say that. Probably one of the cleanest examples I've seen of a 72 Philly candy to come out of a mint set. It just has that kind of mint set look with the love it or hate it kind of like yellowish haze to it. But in any event, someone after a lot of hunting found this thing that ended up graded in a huge number of 67 plus. That is unheard of for a coin that otherwise it doesn't really. It's a coin that me personally it doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a big candy half dollar super collector, but the registry set scene for candies is quite strong and robust at the moment. Again, they're redesigning the candy half dollar after this year, so what we're seeing from this design is going to be the absolute end. After 2025, they're doing a whole new redesign for the 250th anniversary. And then when they come back in 2027, full redesign of the coin, which is quite welcome. But I kind of find it hard to see where this coin fits in society today because of its high denomination and its heft. These things are actually heavy. If you had like 4 or 5 of them in your pocket, you'll know about it. So I don't know. It's a great series overall. I might dive into it at some point, but this coin right here, if I told you it sold for $3,870, you think I would be absolutely out of my mind. And I concur. Maybe I might be out of my mind, but that is what it sold for. And, that further is proof in the pudding that even this series is going on strong. A lot of things are being really, really affected here in a positive way because of the 250th anniversary of our country. A lot of great storylines, a lot of great things that we are going to be seeing next year. And we're kind of seeing some of the beginning stages of that. We're, right around 45 days out until the new year. And things are going to get very interesting afterwards when we're seeing new releases by the Mint. So there you go. That is that for the Monday Market Report. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Again, just to kind of reiterate, the information in this video is for educational use only, not financial advice. Please collect and or grade your coins responsibly as always. And that's going to go ahead and wrap her up for today. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and better late than never, Monday Market Report drop here on a Wednesday. Thank you guys. Come join us later this evening for the final show of November on Blue Ridge Silverhound. And if you can't make it, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I will see you guys here real soon. Keep on collecting, my friends.